So the other day, I met up with family that I haven't seen in a while. It was really cool to see them. Really cool to. It's been quite a few years since I've talked to them. So it was it was nice. My uncle, he asked me if I was still making steel sculptures or like what I was doing. He was asking me what I was doing, and I told him I'm making art, making digital art. He didn't really understand what that meant verbally, and so then I showed him a few of my videos, and he understood what was going on. And he asked me about my steel sculptures that I used to make, and if I still make them. And I said it's been a little while since I've done that, but I haven't lost the ability to do it. And he said he really wanted like a very large gargoyle and roughly 6 feet wingspan. He was asking me if that was something that I could do, and I said yeah, that's something I could do. And then he asked me how much would it be, and I gave him a price, and he went and got his checkbook, and it wasn't even until he wrote in the checkbook that I finally realized, oh shit, I'm making a commission. Are you serious? I had no idea. It's kind of crazy how out of it I am sometimes. But yeah, so I have a commission for a 6 foot wingspan metal or steel gargoyle, and I am super fucking excited about it. So what I wanted to do is I figured I should take this pretty seriously, right? Probably. It's kind of a big project, and rather than sketch and make some references on paper, I figured I should make a whole video about making the reference. So that's what this thing is. I'm making a pretty fast, I mean it took me quite a while, but I figured having a three-dimensional reference for a large sculpture, that would help me out a lot and give me a lot of direction in where I'm going. I told him it would take over a month to do this, so I figured I should take my time. Just for this reference alone, it took 9 hours to sculpt it digitally, or at least that's what the footage says. And then I had to 3D print it and mount it, and I painted it a little bit. But I really think this is gonna be worth it. And then I'm going to end up giving him this 3D print, and it'll be like the little mini version of the gargoyle. And I think he's gonna find that really cool. But yeah, I see things. 3 dimensions make way more sense to me. I can understand it better than to try and read almost like schematics on paper. I feel like there's more room for error on paper. But if I have a sculpture in hand to copy off of to make a bigger sculpture, then that's the best way to do it. Because here actually, the face, I had a huge problem trying to make the face work. And I can do that digitally because that doesn't cost any money, it just takes time. But if I'm wasting all this steel on it and trying to fuck around with the face, that's a lot of wasted money. So, but here's a little couple clips that I think are funny. Let's see what this would look like. Yeah, that's it. We're done. We'll get through this, I promise, okay? Now that was incredibly painful to do, to have to go through, because I was doing this live. It was not working out, and I was doing this in front of people, and that was not a good time. Well, it was a great time. No, I had a lot of fun. We were goofing around, and it was very funny, but as far as like struggling with the sculpture, it was a very difficult time. But eventually we made it happen, and now we're sculpting off of no longer doing the stream anymore, and so I get to kind of just like vibe out and do this on my own. And I think I finally figured out where I wanted to go with it. It kind of looks like a sphinx cat, almost. It's kind of weird looking, but that was actually a big issue part of doing it. Was I was trying to not make it look like a cat, but finally when I allowed it to look like a cat, it actually started to look like a gargoyle, which was really annoying. That was the problem solving factor. Now the teeth I kept very simple because it's gonna be a very small sculpture, so they only have to be tiny cones, and they barely even show up in the 3D print anyways, but they do show up a little bit. It's kind of cute how they end up showing up. And we have all the wrinkles, right? We always got to do wrinkles and getting all those face mushes in. Get the how is the skin gonna react with the skin? You know, how does that? It's like waves, or like it's floppy, squishy fabric, if you will. Skin is just fabric. It's just cloth, and that's, you've heard me say that before. It's just cloth. And because once you skin a human or anything, it's now a fabric, right? Leather's a fabric, kind of, or what would that be? I don't even know. It's not a fabric, but it's a cloth. It's a thing that you can wear or put on a bed. Or anyways, we have a tongue, and we we gotta put the tongue in the mouth, and it looks like a tongue. I'd say I did a cone and I just mushed it, and then I mushed it some more. We have more fatty bits with the hand, and it's like, again, man, how does the skin act with the skin? And I didn't even. It's pretty cool that I don't have to use reference anymore. It's I use reference for the face because I'm not super intimate with the shape of a gargoyle face, but when it comes to like anatomy, human anatomy, if you do it often enough and you study it well enough, you don't need reference anymore. It's really fucking crazy. Now, I recommend if you're gonna do a hyper realistic human, you probably will want reference, but because I'm doing a humanoid, like a creature-y humanoid thing, then you can kind of go off reference and you can kind of scribble around. Like a lot of this was just like messing around. Scribbles are so important in the sculpting world. You start off with big mesh and go smaller, right? That's basically how it works. And you just once you have all the scratches in with the indent tool, or no, I mean the crease tool, then you can build it up with the clay strips. And we gotta do like those ear things for some reason, like so inside of a mouth and inside of an ear. If you want to make it look like a creature, I always add in these like little weird bridges, and it really sells the creature aspect of the fact that it's a creature. Yeah. And then here's the thing. So we did the A pose, right? And now what's gonna happen? We have to pose it. So the A pose is just like, maybe if in video games you've heard of the T pose. Well, this is the A pose, and so that just, it's like a more neutral pose. That's what A mean. It kind of looks like an A. And so you put the bones where the bones go, and then you pose it. You just move some stuff around and move the feet around, and it's just a little puppet. It's really fucking crazy, dude. And I was thinking of doing multiple poses, but I actually, like, once I got this into position, I was really happy with it, and I was hoping he was gonna be okay with it. So all I showed him was this and asked him if he'd be okay with it, and he liked it. So that's awesome. I didn't have to make multiple poses because I was sold on this pose. It's very, very gargoyle-y, but also I didn't want to do like a neutral sit pose, if that makes sense. So yeah, so it's really cool because how effective the bones work with the wings. I didn't expect that to happen as well as it did. It's actually really crazy how well it worked out. So here are the renders, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And of course I did 3D print it. I left it kind of sloppy just because it's meant to be used as a reference mostly, and I'm happy with it. It'll work as a reference. If you want to check out the steel sculpture, that'll be happening in the future, so I recommend subscribing if you want to see that. That would be dope. And I finally made merch, so if you want a t-shirt of the Skinwalker or of the Splitter, check out the link in the description. It took me a long time to find a provider that I was happy with, and to find a t-shirt that was soft enough for something that I would be proud of to sell. And I finally figured it all out. It's all good to go, and there's going to be more additions as time comes. And I hope you're as excited as I am about the video game, and it's fucking happening. Hopefully I'll be doing a devlog about it soon. And I want to thank you again for watching this video, making it this far. I want to thank you for 2,500 subscribers, and I hope you have a wonderful day.